I want to make a quick video on how to use Excel's autofill feature to quickly generate a set of values and create a graph. And I'm using one of the examples from our Math 123 book. This is in section 8, where we are looking at David's weight loss journey here. If you recall, he started at a weight of 240 pounds, and he set a weight loss goal of 2 pounds per week. And we can see that they're asking us to create a linear model. We know it's going to be a linear model because he's losing a fixed amount consistently, in this case, 2 pounds per week. Before you even think about Excel, I really recommend figuring out what the model is. So when we say model, we really mean equation. And in this case, we want a linear equation. So our y values, our output values in this model, are going to represent David's weight at any given time. We have a change of 2 pounds per week. That's a big hint that that was our slope. He's going to do this for every week X, and he had a starting weight of 240. So that's the linear model that hopefully you came up with on this page, y equals negative 2x plus 240. And then on this page, they had already shown us a small graphic of this with just a few points. And then on the next page, there's some Excel instructions on how you could create a graph in Excel. So that's really the part I want to look at. I just have a blank Excel file, and I'm going to have column A labeled as weeks, and that's going to act as my X values, my inputs. And let's call column B David's weight, and that's going to act as our Y values, our outputs. So when you create these generations of data, you'll be creating just a generic set of X values. We typically start our models at 0 rather than 1. And I could type 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty quickly here, but really we want to take advantage of Excel's autofill feature. So to do that, you have to create a pattern or enter a formula. So I've created a pattern with putting 0 and 1, and I want to highlight both of those. So I don't know how well you can see in the video, but right now I have the big white plus sign kind of cursor in Excel. So I'm using my left mouse button and holding it down so that I can highlight the pattern that I just created. So don't double click, just kind of click so you still have that big white mouse so that you highlight both of those, just like you'd highlight anything on the screen. And then I want to bring my cursor over until I'm just on that bottom right-hand corner. There's a little green box at that bottom right-hand corner, and I want to hover over until I get a solid black plus sign. I know that's actually really hard to do on a laptop mouse sometimes, so in this class you might want to invest in getting a little external USB mouse. And then I can take and hold down my left button and drag that, and it even gives me a little counter off to the side. So let's say David's going to use this plan for 10 weeks, but we could do as far as we want. So that's just to create that pattern. Now we came up with that y equal mx plus b model. We want to use that here, but these are our y values. So I don't put y equals, I just put equals, and I'm going to tell Excel to do the calculation. So I'm going to tell Excel, take negative 2, and I have to put an asterisk there for times. So take that slope and multiply by our x value. Well, where are x values? That's why I created this column A with the consecutive numbers. So I'm going to click on A2, and that's going to tell Excel, take whatever is in cell A2, multiply it by negative 2, and we also want to add 240 to that. So in week 0, that's just going to give me 240. And I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm going to take advantage of that relative reference A2 that we put in. And if I grab the corner here and start dragging down, Excel will say, hey, she had A2 up there in cell B2. I bet she wants A3 in cell B3. Yes, yes, I do. And it will continue that pattern for me. And I could keep dragging, or if I double click, it will autofill to match the bottom of the column on the left there. All right, so you enter the formula using a cell reference, and then you copy that formula to all the other cells, and it will automatically change it from A2, A3, so on and so forth. And then, if I wanted a graphic of this, I could just highlight everything. I'm even going to highlight the titles. And of course, I'll go up to Insert, and I'll kind of look for the kind of graph that I want here. I could also do recommended charts. It'll probably have a pretty good guess as to which one, maybe this nice scatter plot with connected lines would probably be a good one, but any of these work. And then zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. And it did a pretty good job, and just like we've done with the graphs before, I can come back and add things like axis titles. It's always a good idea to title everything. So this is weeks. This is weight in pounds, something like that. And there we have a graphic of David's weight loss. And we could generate more because in the problem in the book, they also say, well, what if he lost 3 pounds per week? So we could create another column for that, and we could change different parameters. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview of how to use that autofill feature, and we'll use that some more later in the course. So I hope you found this helpful.